Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down my lineup for Monday, February 6th. We've got an 11-game slate on Monday, pretty big slate for a Monday, so let's hop right into it. Alright, starting off at point guard, I'm going to pay up and take John Wall. Wall gets a terrific matchup at home against the Cavs. Kyrie Irving is one of the worst defenders in the league, and John Wall should absolutely be able to torture Kyrie. Wall has really been picking it up lately. In his last 2 games, he scored over 56 fantasy points. This is definitely a matchup where Wall could easily get you 50 fantasy points. Like I said, Kyrie Irving is a very bad defender. Cleveland is one of the worst teams against the point guard, so Wall should definitely be able to dominate this matchup. So definitely like John Wall. Think he's one of the top studs on the slate. Should easily be able to get you 50, upwards of 60 fantasy points in this matchup. Alright, shooting guard, I'm going to go mid-range and take Victor Oladipo. Oladipo gets a terrific matchup against the Pacers. The Pacers are one of the worst teams defensively against a shooting guard, so this is a really good matchup for Oladipo. He has been up and down lately, but his 2 bad games were against defensively good teams. Memphis is great defensively, and so is Chicago. Aside from those 2 games, Oladipo scored over 30 fantasy points. I definitely think this is a matchup where Oladipo could get you over 30 fantasy points. He's way too cheap in my opinion, at only $22 on Yahoo. He should be able to exceed value with that price tag, so definitely like Oladipo at shooting guard. I think he's way too cheap, should be able to exceed value. Alright, in my guard position, I'm going to take some value and go with Yogi Ferrell. Darren Williams is currently a game time decision for this game. If Williams plays, then I don't really think you can use Ferrell, but if Williams is out, go ahead and fire up Ferrell. He's a top value play on the slate if Williams doesn't play. The Mavs signed this guy to a 10-day contract, and he's been absolutely killing it on that contract, and now he has a 2-year deal with the Mavs. Even if Williams comes back, they might not play Williams. Ferrell might be the starting point guard from now on. And with Williams out of the lineup, Ferrell's been absolutely killing it. He's played over 30 minutes in 4 straight games and has put up over 24 fantasy points in all those 4 games. If Darren Williams doesn't play, then that makes Ferrell arguably the best value play on the slate. At only $14, he definitely should be able to exceed value. He's been playing over 30 minutes, like I said. Should easily be able to get you 25 to 30 fantasy points, which makes him a terrific value play. Alright, small forward, I'm going to take Marcus Morris. Morris gets a pretty solid matchup at home against the Sixers. The Sixers are not great defensively against the small forward, and Morris has really been picking it up lately. In his last 2 games, he's played over 33 minutes and put up 36 and 48 fantasy points. He's way too cheap in my opinion at only $20 on Yahoo. He definitely should be able to exceed value with that price tag. Like I said, this is a solid matchup against the Sixers, so I really like Morris as a mid-range play. Should definitely be able to exceed value with just a $20 price tag. Could get you 25 to 30 fantasy points in this matchup. Alright, at power forward, I'm going to go mid-range and take Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis gets a terrific matchup at home against the Lakers. The Lakers are one of the worst teams defensively, and they play at a very fast pace. Porzingis is way too cheap in my opinion at only $27. He definitely should be able to exceed value with that price tag and given the matchup. Ever since coming off injury, he's kind of been up and down. In his last 5 games, he's put up 25, 27, 26, 37, and 28 fantasy points. He's only played over 30 minutes in 2 of his last 5 games. If this game stays close and Porzingis gets over 30 minutes, he should easily be able to exceed value with just a $27 price tag. So I like Porzingis given the matchup. Think he's way too cheap. Should be able to exceed value. Alright, in my forward position, I'm going to take some more value and go with TJ Warren. Warren gets a terrific matchup against the Pelicans. The Pelicans are not great defensively, and they play at a pretty fast pace. Warren's been picking it up lately. In his last 2 games, he scored 27 and 30 fantasy points and played over 36 minutes. Warren is locked in when it comes to minutes. He'll play at least 25 to 30 minutes just about every night. PJ Tucker has moved to the bench, and now Warren starts. So he'll be out there with the starting unit. Should be able to get a lot of run in this matchup. He should be able to exceed value with just a $13 price tag on Yahoo. Should be able to get you 20 to 30 fantasy points in this terrific matchup against the Pelicans. Alright, at center, I'm going to pay up and take Hassan Whiteside. Whiteside's price has dropped tremendously. He has been in a little bit of a slump lately, but he's managed to pick it up in his last 2 games, scoring 43 and 57 fantasy points. He gets a pretty solid matchup against the Timberwolves. They're going to need him out there to bang with Karl Anthony Towns, so I definitely like Whiteside in this matchup. If he plays over 30 minutes, he should easily be able to get you 45 to 50 fantasy points. I think that makes Whiteside a tremendous play at only $37. Should be able to exceed value with that cheap price tag. And finally, at my utility spot, I'm going to take Tyson Chandler. Chandler gets a pretty solid matchup against the Pelicans. Chandler's going to have to play a lot of minutes to be out there going up against AD. These 2 teams played December 11th, and Chandler put up 37 fantasy points. He played 35 minutes, had 14 points and 21 rebounds. Like I said, they're going to need him out there to bang with AD, so he should be able to play over 30 minutes in this matchup. I like him to exceed value at only a $19 price tag. I definitely could see him getting you a double-double and should be able to exceed value with just a $19 price tag. Alright guys, so this is going to be my lineup for Monday, February 6th. If you guys have any comments, please be sure to leave them in the comments section and I'll answer them. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. Please like and subscribe. If you never want to miss out on a video, please be sure to click the bell icon next to my YouTube name so you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.
I'm hurt. She said hurt people, yeah. She said hurt people.